Story 1. Sometimes, I find myself rewatching old cartoon shows from my childhood on Saturday mornings. There is something about that nostalgia that beats any grown-up TV show out there. Story 2. I love vacuuming and candles. A clean house with flickering light ambience and a nice scent is wonderful. I have been researching vacuums all night and I'm going to buy a cordless one tomorrow so I can vacuum everywhere easily. Story 3. Flowers, man. Not like receiving them as a bouquet, but I would love to have a garden filled with one. If I hopefully get a home with a plot of land, I would start one. Story 4. I love tending to my mom's rose garden. Everyone thinks I just do it to help out my aging mother, but the truth is I absolutely love taking care of the flowers and crossbreeding them into new variants every year. I made white ones that look like they had blood splattered on them last year by crossbreeding. Unfortunately, that plant didn't survive the winter. I'm trying again to get the same results, but I can't remember which two I mixed last year, and my mom has 22 different species. Story 5. I just spent the whole weekend building a model train set, complete with little trees and a miniature station. It might not be everyone's idea of a wild time, but the level of detail is strangely meditative and satisfying. Story 6. I will admit it, I am a grown man, and sometimes I just need a good cry while watching Pixar movies. No shame, those stories hit right in the feelings every time. Story 7. Being touched. A hug, hair being played with, back massage, cuddling, anything. Men rarely get touch and attention. From what I've seen, we're all starved for it. Also, compliments and encouragement or chocolate, flowers, games, fast food, anything being given to us. We rarely actually get anything I just mentioned and would love it but don't want to come off as needy. Story 8. All these responses are from straight men admitting to things that aren't traditionally masculine. So I thought I'd do the opposite. As a gay man, it's very hard to admit that I love cars. Most other gay men dislike cars and people who are into cars. Story 9. The fact that a lot of men feel ashamed doing certain things because it's considered feminine or not masculine makes me really sad. Nobody should feel obligated to miss out on something simply because of what society tells us. I loved reading your answers, guys. I hope you will all get the chance to do these things. Story 10. Random cards, flowers, etc. I get my lady cards and other things. Never get it. I don't know. Should I communicate that? She's good at getting Amazon gifts that I gushed about previously, but knowing she enjoys making me smile is what truly matters. Story 11. I love eating berry-flavored snacks, like strawberry, blueberry, or raspberry, but whenever I try to explain my love for those flavors, they react as if I'm a girl and only girls are allowed to eat those flavors. Like what? Guys can't love sweets? We should only be allowed to eat bitter coffee or dark chocolate or stuff like that. Story 12. I would never admit to any close friends how much I love cleanliness. Like I could have them come over and things get misplaced or there's trash everywhere. But I bet I would enjoy putting everything back where it was more than the actual hangout. I hate dirty people. Story 13. Musicals. I am a bald, bearded, muscly, ex-military dude with a permanent scowl on my face. Secretly though, deep down, I love musical theater, always have. I never did drama in high school because what would my friends think? Laugh out loud. Story 14. All the neighborhood gossip my partner sees through the curtains. I tell her that I try not to take entertainment from things going wrong for other people in the street. I actually love it. Story 15. I usually listen to black metal, folk metal, classic metal, rock, and 80s love songs at work, but I just can't play K-pop. I'm welding alone in the hall so others won't be bothered by what I listen to, but there are others in the building and I just can't. I have to hold on to my last shreds of manliness. Story 16. I love mind games, but I only use manipulation for good now. For instance, I've helped a friend get out of an abusive relationship, among other things. It's a result of trauma, but it doesn't excuse the fact that I enjoy breaking someone down so they will listen to me. Story 17. Woman here. Guys, let me just say, please be yourselves. If someone doesn't like it, that means they're not the one for you. I totally love someone who is their uninhibited self, no matter what others say. You're safe and free to be you around me. I hope women lose the stereotypical barbaric view of what masculinity is. Story 18. Lovey-dovey stuff. I am 41, single, and have been single since I was 23. I only get into friends with benefits relationships, and am very upfront about the fact I don't want relationships or any of that mess. But man, when it comes to movies, shows, video games, etc., that stuff makes me feel all warm and fuzzy and can make me tear up. Story 19. A foot massage. On my last day in Japan, I had one, and the masseuse said I have really stiff feet. But the massage was absolutely amazing, even though I've only ever had one. Story 20. Praise. I do not know if it is my upbringing, always getting yelled at and belittled, but that is a story for another day. But if I put effort into something, or if I am just there and get any praise, I shut down mentally in the best way possible. Unfortunately, getting praised without also getting looked down at is not common, not for men, or at least for me, so I pretend I am put off by it. I would do anything to just feel validated for my efforts, but I am fighting alone. Story 21. I never received a proper surprise birthday party, like the one where someone calls up all your friends, and one of your friends keeps you out of the house for a few hours. This is why I started throwing my own birthday parties. I can't count on anyone to actually make my day special for me. Story 22. I just want to sit in silence next to my girl and stare at a fire. Not be on our phones, but just be with each other and not feel like we need to say something. That would probably make me cry. Story 23. After reading at least 10 answers, what is wrong with you? Do you like unicorns? Yeah, great. Want to be the little spoon? Get yourself an I want to be the little spoon shirt. Cocktails? Give me the sweetest, fruitiest cocktail you have. Be proud of what you like. Story 24. I love watching compilations of the best performances from The Voice, especially when the family watching from the side gets emotional. Plus, they are often amazing singers, which we can all appreciate. Story 25. I'm almost 40, married, a dad, and my enthusiasm store has been sold out for a long time, so not quite meeting the prompt. But I like keeping fresh flowers in the house and love a good fern. Story 26. Girls being protective or chivalrous with me. I have had a few instances when going out with my friend group where a few of the girls would offer to carry some of the bags, or open the door for me, or nudge me a little into the train because the doors were closing. I cannot speak for all guys, of course, but I feel like guys probably would be embarrassed by that. But I honestly love it. Of course, I would also usually return it in kind. Oh, and getting flowers too. Story 27. I'm not that bothered about admitting this, to be honest, but I am very, very unhappy with how my body turned out. Aside from what's looking like a terminal illness in my late 20s, I was quite a cute kid when growing up. Obviously a boy, but somewhat androgynous. Puberty changed that dramatically and sharpened my face out a lot. I wasn't bad looking as a young man at all, but I looked very masculine, which I've never really liked. After that, I had an accident with a medication that permanently bloated and prematurely aged my face and went rapidly bald, breeding yet more woe. Now I look like Hannibal Lecter made a balloon and regularly get mistaken for being 10 to 20 years older than I am. I've bigger issues, in truth, but it does still cause me a lot of pain. If I had my way, I would have been one of those cutesy boyish guys who could wear makeup and cross-dress and actually look good, and attract the kinds of young women who tend to go for those guys, more gender fluid, a bit gothic, enjoy twisting traditional gender roles, etc. I briefly dated someone like that a long time ago, but the relationship predictably blew up due to my warping appearance. A couple of years ago, I bought some women's clothing just out of curiosity. I looked in the mirror and came face to face with a freak. I looked like Buffalo Bill. So yeah, that's one thing that bothers me a lot, but that I don't talk to people about. Various things that have happened to my body make me look very different from how I conceive of my authentic self on the inside. I wouldn't describe myself as trans or even necessarily queer, though, just someone who has a very particular sense of who they are and a very specific lifestyle and relationships they'd have liked to pursue that biological reality has made impossible. Story 28. My wife crochets and gets really frustrated when her yarn gets tangled. She has no patience for it. My brain is very methodical and meticulous, and I enjoy untangling the yarn and making it into a ball for her. Story 29. I get filled with joy from flowers, trees, and butterflies. No problem admitting it really, but some find the level of enthusiasm a bit odd from a 32-year-old male. Story 30. Hugs and flowers might sound very feminine to some, but I just love the idea of the warmth of a hug. My parents haven't hugged me since I was around 13. I'm 20 now, and a lot has happened since. Story 31. The Notebook. You are either shamed by people who just hate the movie, or it's people telling you how toxic it is and so on. It's cute, and it reminds me what it's like to be in love. Story 32. Take a day off and dump my Legos out. Build something really cool without any work, phones, obligations, or anything. Just like in the 80s and early 90s when I was a kid, and the biggest thing I had to worry about was where I wanted to ride my bike that day.